Friday, a Halloween special starring Paul Lynde.
Turning myself on.
And his special guests, Tim Conway, Florence Henderson, Pinky Tuscadero, and the Incredible Kids. All on the Paul Lynde Halloween special.
Friday on ABC.
Perfect.
Welcome to the graveyard, the place where we have fun, where monsters, ghouls, and goblins, and this is where we're coming from.
If you want a spooky trip, come along with us tonight. We'll introduce some fiends who are really out of sight.
You can betcha, we can betcha, and we'll catch a boom. Boom! We're gonna scare ya, we won't spare ya, and if we dare ya, we will scare ya. Boom! Boom! And what we're gonna do? We're gonna scare the piss right off of you. Boom! Boom!
In the middle of a summer, in the middle of a park, there began a great adventure for a boy whose name was Mark. He had come to see the magic man along with all the children, and 'twas so began the day that Mark was never to forget. He performed all sorts of miracles, and Mark was so impressed that when the time arrived to go, he lagged behind the rest. Then quietly he did return the secret of the hat to learn, but everyone had gone away and darkness held a threat. The moment that he touched the hat, the room began to glow, and as he put it down and ran, the hat began to grow and 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 grow. He was stunned and he was fascinated. Still he had to see there was something deep inside the hat. What could that something be? Then cautiously each step he took, he climbed upon the brim to look, and all at once the hat began to shake and rock. Look out! Falling, falling, into the head he fell, spinning, turning, whirling, twirling, down, down. And when he looked into the skies, he couldn't believe his ears or eyes. Lidsville is the cookiest, Lidsville is the kickiest, Lidsville is the grooviest, Lidsville is a living and friend. If you get a chance to go there, you'll be glad you did. 'Cause everybody who goes to Lidsville really flips his lid.
How's that for a topper?
The Live Stream Code and Rating Administration has rated this online event PG. All ages admitted. Please be kind and stay on topic.
Good evening. Welcome to the Good Stuff Live. It's our third annual virtual Halloween party, and I am just so excited that all of you are able to join me this evening. Hopefully, it will be a fun-filled evening full of, well, nostalgic memories, right? We're going to talk about music, movies, mostly TV, along with some other things, but, you know, the good stuff. So before we get going, let me look and see who we have hanging out this evening in the chat. And, well, before I even get started with that, looks like I've got to take care of my executive producers this evening. This is an interesting one. It says, I am paying so that Lance can be executive producer of this chat. So Lance, you may be the executive producer of the chat, and Keith, we're going to call you the overall executive producer of tonight's live stream. Thank you to both of you so much. Truly appreciate your willingness to be my executive producers. We're going to run that banner here for just the next little bit as a way of saying thank you to both of you, Keith, for your generous super chat this evening, and Lance for your loyalty and friendship to oh so many community members that have subscribed to this channel. So thanks, folks. You are both truly, truly appreciated. And how can I say it? You know what? The best way I can think to say thank you to both of you is to bring on the fembots.
I have created the ultimate weapon to defeat Austin Powers. Bring in the fembots!
Thanks to both Keith and Lance for their support. All right, let's see who else is in the chat this evening. Look at this, Tom McCluskey. We call him the Hungry Jerk from time to time, but looks like he's changed his YouTube handle to just be his name, and that's great. Tom, appreciate you listening to me even when you're at work. Hello there, Lance. Always great to have you here. Hans Hand Solo 313, good to have you with us. Lance reminds us that we lost Richard Roundtree, a.k.a. Shaft, today. Early 80s. Kenneth Wilkinson is here. Good to have you with us, hanging out. Let's see who else we have. My friend Steve Tevis over at the Life and Sad Ending. Welcome. Good to have you hanging out with us this evening as well. Let's see. Lots of conversation between those folks. So let me scroll down, and here we go. Superfan John Collins, channel member, superfan, actually super friend. He's contributing at the third highest tier level of channel membership. And John, I truly appreciate all your support. Welcome to the live stream this evening. Let's see who else we have. Gary Carpenter, ghoulish greetings to you as well, my friend. Channel member Sean Innes. Hey, channel members, don't forget to, if you have available to you, use your channel member chat. That's kind of a really cool way for me to recognize the number of months that you've been channel members. So if you have that option, please use it so that I can put it on screen. And what should we call that? Your channel member chat bubble, whatever you want to call that. It would be great if you can use that. I certainly love reading those. Just passing throughs with us. Hey, great to have you with us as well. Karen Lester, always a treat. I think I said hi to Gary Carpenter, but if I didn't, hello, Gary. Tom Space. Yeah, Paul Lynn, that Halloween special was really great. Tug, channel member Tug, the unapologetic geek. It is indeed a party, a virtual Halloween party. And I'm going to be reliant upon you guys to help me out tonight. I'm going to want to know about your favorite Halloween memory. I'm going to want to know about your favorite costume that you ever dressed up in, all that kind of good stuff. We'll watch a video or two, maybe some old-timey Halloween commercials. We'll see. Let's see. Tammy Patton, hello. Oh, Indy Spoats, great to have you with us. And look at this, BK on the air is here. My friend Barry King, he's got a great Halloween special coming up this Saturday, I believe. Barry, if you want to give me more details about that, I'll share it on the live stream. I don't have my phone handy, so otherwise I'd pull up the message you sent me earlier. But if you want to tell the folks about what you're doing this weekend, your radio special, or actually it's on Halloween Eve, isn't it? Anyway, give me the details in the chat if you're still around, and I'll be happy to plug it because that is a great way to spend Halloween night. All right, let's see who else is here. Maximus Primus, Lidsville. Yes, one of my favorite all-time TV theme songs. And I thought that was quite a scary intro. Now, the show itself wasn't all that scary, but that intro was quite interesting and one of my favorites. Like I said, a lot of folks don't know who sang the theme song, including myself, although there is speculation that the Osmonds were involved in it in some way. Let's see what else we've got here. Who else is hanging out with us tonight? The Nostalgic Pod Blast. Chance, it's great to have you with us this evening. Welcome. Good to have you here. I love this. Maximus Prime says, the masters of Nightmare Fuel, Sid and Marty Krofft. So very, very true. All right. Oh, wait. Tom is back now as Hungry Jerk. So I kind of like seeing your name there, Tom. Did you know that sometimes your comments get banned automatically by the YouTube bots because of the word jerk in your name? Just a heads up. If your comments aren't getting through in the chat or elsewhere, it may be because of that. And here he is back as Tom McCluskey. Welcome, Tom. Let's see what we got going here. David Kerbo, channel member David Kerbo says, I met Butch Patrick once at an outdoor music concert. He tripped over my legs as he was walking past me. Well, there you go. That's one way to meet a celebrity. Channel member Dominic D is here with us as well. So good to have you hanging out. Paul, a.k.a. Commander Kane. Hey, how you doing, pal? Good to have you with us this evening. Just passing through says, love your content, Dave. Thanks for what you do for us. It is truly my pleasure. Thank you for being part of my community. Raja 1938, welcome. Matt Sweeney, welcome. Adrian James, good to have you here. Life and Sad Ending says, I like fembots. We all do. We all do, but they're so deadly. They're so deadly. Let's see who else is hanging out with us tonight. I said hello to channel member Dominic D, I believe, but I'm going to say one more time, just in case I missed it. Oh, and this is what it's called. Channel member David Kerbo, member for 7 months. Thank you for that much continued support, Dave. He says it's called a milestone chat. So, folks, if you have it at your ready, and from what I understand, I think it's on the desktop, but maybe not on the phones or vice versa. But if you can use it, please do. I love reading these they're as much fun for me as super chats. And you know I love super chats. All right. Thanks, Dave, for doing that. Let's see. Oh, Nostalgic Podblast says, hello, all you happy people, was said by Droopy, the cartoon MGM dog, he was the bellman, right? On the elevator frequently in the cartoons. Hey, Todd McCreary's here. Good to have you with us. Sean Innes, channel member Sean Innes, remembering Richard Roundtree and Shaft. I saw it when I was fairly young on television, the edited version, of course. Channel member Lisa Fields. Hello, good to have you here. Happy Halloween, Lisa. Nostalgic Podblast says, how bad is it that the Charlie Brown Great Pumpkin Christmas special is no longer seen on traditional TV? The Schultz family sold out to Apple. That's true. The best way to see it, obviously, is on the Apple TV streaming service, which, by the way, is raising its prices from $6.99 a month to $9.99 a month, so $10. Kind of expensive these days, but they're all getting more expensive. The best way to watch the Charlie Brown Great Pumpkin special these days is to own the DVD or Blu-ray. Or if you want to go really old school, VHS if you still have a VCR. Danny Staten's here. Welcome, Danny. Always a treat to have you with us hanging out. You may be late, but I would say you are fashionably late. So welcome. David C., welcome. Good to have you here. One of my favorite, well, and it happens multiple times during the special, the whole I Gotta Rock thing. It just is so indicative of Charlie Brown and the bad luck that he always seems to have. Let's see. John E. Burnett, welcome to the live stream. John is very active over on Twitter, now known as X, and he occasionally tags me in some of his posts, and I appreciate that, John. Thank you for all you do. Channel member Dominic D says the Osmonds sang the Dr. Shrinker theme song. There you go. There you go. The thing about that was, and the reason why there's a lot of Osmond crossover in the 70s is that Sid and Marty Krofft were the producers of the Donnie Marie show, and so there was a lot of heavy involvement there. And so when it came time to create songs for Captain Cool and the Kongs as part of the Krofft Super Special, well, the Osmonds were readily available to help with that task. Justin Retro Stuff Channel says, hello, Dave. My first costume was Barney, the dinosaur from the 90s. You're jumping ahead, but we'll get to those in a minute, and you may have to remind me about that again. Channel member Music Girl 67, always a treat. I hope you have a beautiful Wednesday evening as well, Ms. Elizabeth. Danny Hooley, welcome. No worries about being late. Like I told Danny Staten, you are fashionably late, and that's not a bad thing at all. Melissa Foster, great to have you here as well. Here we go. Carl Smith, welcome. Good to have you here. Here's another milestone chat from Keithy, a member for 10 months. Keith, God bless you, my friend. It's way too hard to find Dave. I don't think people can find it. Referring to the milestone chat feature. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how it's accessed so that I can maybe provide a tutorial on air, because it's just such a cool thing. I'm glad YouTube set up this feature for channel members. Okay. Oh, hey. I say yay and I don't say in moderation. And the question I have for you when talking about candy corn chants is, do you do the same thing I do, which is I nibble the various colors? So I'll start with the top, and then I'll just kind of work, how it's in It's typically 3 different colors. You got the white top, then you got the orange, and then you got some yellow or more white. And I say yay. I love the candy corn, but I'm also a fan of the circus peanuts. So, that tells you a little something about my taste in candy. Let's see what else we've got here. Hey, it's Emily Miller. So great to have you join us tonight. And all you folks that are channel members, don't forget to join me on Sunday for the channel member exclusive live stream. It'd be great to have you there as well. The nice thing about that live stream is that there's not so many chats, and I can actually read all of them in real time and talk to you all a little more intimately, if you know what I mean. So, Terrell Eugene Bellinger, happy Halloween to you, my friend. Always a treat to have you hanging out with your vast knowledge of particularly television, but movies as well. And you may even tell me that you know quite a bit on music. I wouldn't surprise me if you did. Channel member Mike D, welcome. Good to have you with us hanging out. If the rock Charlie Brown got was Kiss's Love Gun or Led Zepp 4, then he did okay. Well said. Kiss's Love Gun and Destroyer, 2 great albums. Hotter Than Hell, another great Kiss album. Is it Dressed to Kill? I think that one's a good one too. Those early Kiss albums are really quite special. Terrell says, it's a great pumpkin. Charlie Brown holds a special place in my heart as the second greatest Peanuts holiday special. You and I think the same way, my friend. Nothing will ever compete or, the Christmas special is just, it's pure magic. It's classic. It wouldn't get made today, but neither would this one. And this one's a fun one as well. So it's right up there with it, but not quite as great. I agree. Let's see. Danny Hooley talking about Richard Roundtree says very few men ever get breast cancer. Richard Roundtree was one of them, but it was a brief fight with pancreatic cancer. That's what killed him. Thanks for sharing. Mr. Deeds 11 says, hello, everyone. Favorite TV moment for me? Kiss on the Tomorrow Show. Oh, I didn't see it live, but I've watched it a couple of times and it is very good. Okay, we're going to keep moving. Because I could say hello and talk to folks. There's BK on the air with his first Halloween costume. I'm going to favorite that, and I'll get back to that in a minute. Let's see what else we got here. Channel member David Kerbo says, the milestone chat option only shows up when YouTube says you are eligible to share it. I found it in the same area as where you do the super chats. So if any of you are familiar with doing super chats, check there if you're a channel member and if it's available. I love to see them. So we don't want those to go to waste. No way. Channel member Emily Miller says, if you don't nibble on the candy corn, you're eating it wrong. I totally agree. Totally agree. All right, let's see. Oh, Tom McCluskey's going to the Rocky Horror Picture Show on Halloween night. That will be awesome. Are you going to go see it in that historic theater where we went to CroftCom, Tom? Let's see. Yes, Halloween is on Wednesday this week. Great correction there, Terrell. Oh, Music Girl 67, channel member Music Girl 67 says, I love the autumn mix with candy corn, pumpkins, and the candy corn that's brown on the bottom. Funny, I eat the regular candy corn before Halloween and then the other 2 in November. Okay, I love that you're seasonal with your candy corn consumption. The Nostalgic Pod Blast says that Barry King, a.k.a. BK on the Air, is going to do his audio-only radio show for 3 hours on Halloween night. Yeah, there's no video, but it is a ton of fun. Totally agree, Chance. Let's see. We've got another milestone chat. This one from Emily Miller. Look at this. Emily has been a channel member for 18 months. Emily, truly appreciate your continued support. Thank you so much for all you do to make this community so great. I know that, there's people, me being one of them, but there are so many people in the chat that would be heartbroken if you weren't part of this community. Great to have you here. Let's see what else we got. I think I may have welcomed everybody. All right. So with that said, what I would love is I'm going to put up a question. Let me find a banner here. And let me ask you about, a couple of folks have already offered up costumes, so let's go there. The question is, let me take off the executive producers. I think we've welcomed or thanked them enough. I'm going to take that off the screen. There we go. The question is, what is your favorite Halloween costume ever? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a video that's very personal to me. It's my feelings and thoughts about ghosts. And then I'm going to star all the comments about Halloween costumes that are entered into the chat during the video. And then after the video is over, I'm going to read them all. We're going to talk about them. So here we go. Let me go ahead and play the video. Do you believe in ghosts? Let me just state for the record that I do believe in ghosts. I've never seen one, mind you, but that doesn't mean that I don't believe that we all have spirits, and when we die, some of those spirits, for whatever reason, well, they like to stick around. From an early age, I've also enjoyed movies with that general theme. I am a big Cary Grant fan, so it only makes sense that Topper would be a favorite of mine. Grant and co-star Constance Bennett played George and Marion Kirby, a fun-loving, happy-go-lucky couple who find themselves deceased after an unfortunate automobile accident. They discover that they aren't destined for heaven or hell, but forced to roam the earth as spirits until they do some sort of good deed. Unfortunately, or fortunately, their former friend, a stuffy feller by the name of Topper, is the recipient of their intended good deeds, and of course, mayhem and mirth are not all that far behind. Even more than Topper, I absolutely love Gene Tierney and Rex Harrison in The Ghost and Mrs. Muir. It's a story that holds up even today. The performances of Miss Tierney as a young widow named Lucy, and Mr. Harrison as the very crotchety and very dead sea captain that she falls in love with, are top-notch and timeless. This is a movie that I return to year after year. It's just that good. So anyway, you get my point. I like stories about ghosts. Mostly friendly ghosts. I never cared much for the angry ones. With this in mind, you can probably understand why I was excited about Jennifer Slept Here. The show starred Ann Gillian as a famous but very dead movie star. She was the victim of a freak accident with a good humor ice cream truck and was refusing to leave her Beverly Hills mansion behind. And then 14-year-old Joey and his family show up, and Jennifer realizes that she can do good deeds by helping out Joey and not ever have to leave her beloved home behind. I've got to admit, after perusing the fall preview edition of TV Guide, this was one of the shows that I was most excited about for the 1983 TV season. I will also admit that I was more than a little intrigued by the TV Guide promo ad for this show's premiere episode. Holy cow! This show looks more like some sort of teen coming-of-age comedy than anything else. Of course, this was the network doing what they do best, teasing the potential viewers with an outrageous advertisement that really doesn't have all that much to do with the actual program. And as you might guess, the thing I'm leading up to is the best thing about Jennifer Slept Here was Ann Gillian. Unfortunately, the sitcom itself seemed to be still kind of working through what it wanted to be. A lot of shows are like that during their first and sometimes even sophomore seasons. Unfortunately, despite some really good episodes, including one with the diminutive star from Poltergeist Zelda Rubinstein, the network execs swung their mighty cancellation axe, and after just one short season, 13 episodes in all I believe, Jennifer Slept Here was no more. At the time, I remember being extremely disappointed. How was I going to get my ghost fix? But then, through the magic of reruns, I was able to discover the television version of The Ghost and Mrs. Muir starring Hope Lang. The show ran for 2 seasons, first on NBC and then on ABC, and co-starred Edward Mulhare as Captain Daniel Gregg. The TV show is a little less romantic and played mostly for laughs, but it's good in its own right, and yes, that is Charles Nelson Riley there on the left. Anyway, great memories, at least for me. Alright, now it's your turn. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love a thumbs up, and what the heck, why not head on over to my YouTube channel and check out more videos over there. I talk about
music, movies, and television, mostly from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching.
All right. Let's see what we got in the comments section here. Let's see. BK on the air, going back to BK's comment, Barry King said, my first Halloween costume was a Ben Cooper Casper the Friendly Ghost. It was wonderfully awesome. It was awesomely wonderful as I remember it. What a great memory. Those Ben Cooper costumes, they were kind of uncomfortable to wear, especially the mask, but I have some great memories wearing my Batman Ben Cooper costume. Thank you, Barry, for sharing that. Let's see what we've got going here. Channel member Emily Miller says, one of my first costumes was Casper with the hard plastic mask. Yeah, another Ben Cooper costume. Kenneth Wilkinson was Doctor Who. Oh, the Nostalgic Podblast says, am I commenting too much? I don't think so. I really don't know if you can comment too much in the chat. I think the only thing you have to understand, and you get it because you live stream as well, a chance, is that I don't get a chance to read all the comments when we have as many people as we have in the chat. Tonight's a light night. We have under 50 people on this live stream right now, which is fine because it allows me to keep a little bit of a better eye on what's going on there. But still, it's impossible as I continue to live stream and look at the camera to really know what's happening in the chat, which is why I go off to and share a video for a minute so I can go back and review some of the comments, like for this one where we're talking about Halloween costumes. Maximus Prime says, I was Casper once. Danny Staten apparently is going to be Batman this year. That's you can't pick a better costume in my mind. Channel member Mike D says, of all the costumes I've personally worn, I'd say the Dark Knight's Joker. I got the cheek scars just right. Oh, I would love to have seen that one, Mike. The Unapologetic Geek, channel member, The Unapologetic Geek, says, I made my own Riddler costume. My wife dressed as Poison Ivy, hubba hubba, and we put our baby in a Batman costume and called him Batmite. What? That's another one. I got to see a picture. I've got to see a picture. Looks like Lance Chaffin is taken off. Have a good night, Lance. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, even if it was for a short period of time. Tammy Patton says, I don't have a favorite costume. Whatever I was wearing at that moment was my favorite. There you go. There you go. And then, not really a costume, but a memory. Sean Innes says, favorite time was going into New York City for Halloween one year. So many great costumes there. Yeah, I could see that. And Paul, a.k.a. Commander Kane, says, I was Santa once for Halloween. I love that. That's awesome. Now, Emily Miller, channel member Emily Miller, says she always dresses as a witch, which is an upgrade from the Casper costume, right? And I would never have guessed that of you, my Wordle-playing community member friend. David C. says, I once wore a t-shirt that read generic Halloween costume. Many people thought that was funny. That would be a great t-shirt. And capping off this section of the live stream tonight, Justin Retro Stuff Channel says, my favorite costume is Superman from the 90s. There you go. Pair that with Batman and you've got the world's finest superhero. So awesome. Thanks to everyone for sharing your memories, your comments. It looks like I'm seeing some high Pats. Do we have Pat McCormick hanging out with us? We sure do. Welcome, Pat. Good to have you with us. You, me, Barry, Thrash, Retro Nerd Girl, and I think we're going to invite Tracy Roth Myers. I'd love to get going with a Retropalooza. Is it going to be 6 or 7? But to finish up our Crush conversation, great to have that. So let's get going on planning that. I'll send a text to the gang in the not too distant future. You are indeed here, John Collins. Thank you so much for joining us. I think I said hi earlier. If I didn't, forgive me. And congratulations on all the work that you're doing in your community. following you on Facebook and seeing the noble efforts that you're doing to help others that are in similar situation to yourself. It's just it's extremely noble and very honorable. Okay. Where do we want to go here? Where do we want to go? Let's see what we go. I really wanted to have folks share Halloween memories. I don't have another video, but I'm going to, if folks wanted to share a favorite Halloween memory from their childhood, or even more recently from their adulthood, I would love to read those just live. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. Thank you, Barry. So good to know you're up for another Retropalooza. It's one of my favorite types of live streams to do, hanging out with my buddies, brothers from other mothers. Let's see. Channel member John Collins said, speaking of Halloween, did you know that the Wicked Witch of the West hat once went for $200,000 at auction? Holy cow. Holy cow. Let's see. Oh, let's read this one while I'm waiting for you all to share your Halloween memories. Tim Ushwat or Uquat. I'm trashing that last name. I'm sorry, Tim. He says, thanks for doing a YouTube video all about Robert Ridgely. He was the ABC promo announcer from 1985 to 1996. Yes, he was. And he was also the voice of Morris the Cat, the voice of He-Man. He had, what a career Robert Ridgely had. And it was a pleasure, an absolute pleasure to put something together so that we don't forget folks like Robert Ridgely, folks that people don't talk about all the time. You know, I don't get a ton of views when I do videos on folks like Robert Ridgely. Not the way when I do a video on, say, a Jan Smithers, or someone even more popular, some of my Andy Griffith videos, those kind of things. But the videos about the folks that are kind of slipping away from us and people forget them and forget their contributions, they're important. And I appreciate that you recognize that, Tim. Thank you so much. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see if we have anybody sharing their memories. Channel member Mike D says, one of my favorite Halloween memories is when my wife and I went as Gomez and Morticia. That would be a lot of fun, right? One, because it's a fun costume, and two, because you did it with your wife. Same reason I'm sure Tug really has that memory of him dressing up as the Riddler and his wife Poison Ivy and Batmite. They go beyond the costumes. And that's just a great memories because you were able to do it together. And looking at that picture there of your wife, I can see where she would make a very good Morticia. Yes, we are. If we get a chance, I definitely want to call into BK's Spooktacular. That would be a lot of fun. Thanks for reminding me, Pat. You're right, David C. The Addams Family was only on network television for 2 seasons. I believe The Munsters 2 seasons as well. Channel member David Kerbo says, my favorite Halloween memory is running down the sidewalk and then tripping and falling and dumping all my candy out all over the sidewalk every year. That's a favorite memory? Oh, that sounds horrible. That's traumatic, Dave. Channel member Tracy Roth-Myers, a.k.a. Tracy's Fractured History and More. Hiya. Good to have you here hanging out with us. We're sharing favorite Halloween memories. Feel free to share yours, Tracy. Channel member Keith E. says, Halloween memory when I was 7 times 14 with the 14-year-old brother, was told he could have half of my whole, I'm guessing you're saying candy. It was like working in a sweatshop that year, all of the places we went. Yeah, if he was told he could have half of your haul, then that's, I'm sure what that meant there, half of your haul, then he probably worked you to the bone that night. Raja 1938 says, favorite Halloween memory was New Orleans for Halloween once. So wild, only second to Mardi Gras. I imagine. I totally imagined. That would be crazy. Maximus Prime says, when I was 14, it was the year we stopped trick-or-treating and ran around pulling pranks and Halloween hijinks. I think I was 12 when I stopped trick-or-treating, and my mom, from that point on, and this, by the way, is a favorite memory of mine, every year she would put together a little bag for me up until I was like 16 or 17. So for the next 4 or 5 years, she would put something together for those of us that felt like we were too old to go trick-or-treating. In retrospect, I think I should have gone for 1 or 2 more years. Let's see what else we got. The Unapologetic Geek says, my favorite Halloween memory isn't exactly PG-13, so you'll have to... Well, I imagine it might have something to do with poison ivy. Good gravy, yeah. Let's see what else we have. Anyone else sharing a favorite Halloween memory? Oh, man, I missed your Halloween costume. What was it? Tell me right now, and I'll put it on the screen. Hopefully, if you can tell me again. I'm so sorry for missing that, Tracy, or Elizabeth. That's the thing. They go by so fast. David C. says, my dad stayed home from work one year to set up a haunted house at our home for trick-or-treaters. It was fun. That sounds like it would have been fun. Sticks Bass says, watching Night of the Living Dead on Creature Features with Bob Wilkins. Great memory. I have some great memories of TV shows I watched when I was staying home instead of trick-or-treating. One year it was the Wonder Woman movie with Linda Carter before it became a TV show. Justin Retro Stuff Channel says, my memory was when I was a kid, I went trick-or-treating in the 90s in the neighborhood. Yeah, trick-or-treating, so much fun. Hey, good evening, DOAV 2.1. Take care, Steve. Have a great night. Melissa Foster says, my husband and I got dressed. My husband was a pirate and I was Cher. That would have been a fun memory. And channel member Emily Miller says, my favorite Halloween memories was making costumes for my kids and taking them trick-or-treating. Yeah, those are great memories. And, you only have that opportunity for that kind of memory for a brief period of time. So I'm glad you brought that up, Emily. Tracy says, the best Halloween I've ever had because it was when I babysit. I took my kids everywhere. We came back home with so much candy. It was disgusting. Their mom looked at me like, wow, it's so much fun. Oh, Pat McCormick, a.k.a. the Golden Age of Television, says, I bobbed apples with a girl named, if you can believe it, Emily. Pat McCormick, over on his channel, The Golden Age of TV. You got to subscribe. But his latest podcast, I'm not sure if it's in YouTube format yet. But I've been listening to it on my podcast player, but it will be coming soon if it's not already there, is a second interview, a follow-up interview with Hot Lips Houlihan herself, Loretta Swit, not to be missed. Quite frankly, folks, if you haven't subscribed to Pat's channel, you like my stuff, you'll love his stuff. Let's see. Channel member John Collins says, Dave, have you heard of a film called Trick or Treat? Yes, I have. From 1986. I saw a video about it on Retro Renaissance channel. Thank you very much. I'll have to check that out. By the way, I reached out to that Retro Renaissance guy, and he has not responded to me. One could say, in true Halloween format, he ghosted me. Or at least he has to date. Let's see. Oh, speaking of bobbing for apples with Emily, Pat says, I was the only one that came up for air. Oh, you will be missed, Steve Tevis. Don't ever say that. I hear you, though, about being tired. I hear you. You have a good night. And thank you for all you do. For, this community, I know there's a lot of overlapping with your community, and your videos are just great. So thanks for all you do, pal. Did I miss your costume again? I got to scroll back up. No, I haven't missed it yet. Let me see. It sounds like it was a hobo shoe polish beard pictures, or it never happened. I love that. Oh, Nostalgic Podblast says favorite Halloween memory, making caramel apples. Channel member Dominic D stopped trick-or-treating about 14. Yeah, I was about 2 years too early. I was a fairly shy, reserved kid, and I hung up my costume too soon. What can I say? Gary Carpenter says there was a couple of my dad's restaurant costumes were dressed up at her dad's restaurant. I'm guessing that means to say they were dressed up as Wonder Woman and Spider-Man, and their son was Superman. That's cool. And Terrell says I was a clown one Halloween when I was much younger. That didn't really age well for me. Yeah. Yes. Tug, you are absolutely correct. I think most parents can agree that Halloween becomes even better when you're making memories with your kids, right? Yeah, for sure. Raj in 1938 rightfully points out that you hit a certain age and you figure out that you can just cut out the middleman and go buy your own candy. Let's see. DOAV 2.1 says my favorite Halloween was taking my sons on their first trick-or-treat run. Let's see. Monk of Magnesia says I was born in Sleepy Hollow in 1992. I wrote, directed, and acted in the first haunted house the town of Seneca Falls, New York ever had. Very cool. Thanks for sharing that. Kenneth Wilkinson says favorite Halloween memory, attending a Halloween party at an aquarium. Okay. And Monk of Magnesia says Halloween weekend 1981, played Renfield on stage in Dracula, met Jonathan Fried, or is it Freed, from Dark Shadows. Very cool. Pat says the upcoming Adam Weissmuller interview has blown my doors off. Well, I'm sure it will blow off. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it immensely, is what I will say. Here we go. Ms. Elizabeth, channel member Music Girl 67 says my favorite Halloween costume was when I was a train jumper hobo, all dressed up in oversized clothes, hat, and shoes. Used shoe polish on my face for a beard. Sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds like a lot of fun. Hey, Nick Mamonis is in the house. Great to have you with us, Nick. And Ruta Lee is coming back. That was a fun interview as well. So good. Your podcast is so wonderful. Folks, if you listen to podcasts, check out The Golden Rage of Television. His retro TV and movie podcasts are just out of this world. All right, here is what we are going to do. We go ahead and take that off the screen. I do have trivia. I have some trivia for you tonight, folks. But before that, I need to take care of my vintage sponsors. Folks that, well, actually not truly sponsoring the channel. These commercials may take you back to an earlier time. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and play some commercials. And then we'll come back and do a little Halloween trivia for those folks who want to stick around.
It was a Halloween party where fantasies come true. I put on Showtime makeup and did a dance or two. The boys and ghouls were hanging out like vamp and tigress too. My Showtime face was all in place then. Rock Angel, I saw you.
It's Showtime, the adult Halloween makeup. Showtime is hypoallergenic, more comfortable than masks, more fun too.
You know you are my fantasy, but I can't speak to you.
Make up a Halloween fantasy with Showtime makeup.
Hi, I'm a Boglin. Me and my buddies want to be your friend, right, guys? Right. Call us at 1-900-909-5464 and hear how we can protect you from ferocious beasts.
And help you teach your grade your math test.
Yeah, new story every day.
One call gets you a 3D Boglin hologram like this.
4 calls get you a set of 6. Trade them with your buddies.
And part of your $2.35 2-minute call goes to Special Olympics.
So get your parents' permission and call us at 1-900-909-5464. Go get the phone. I said get it, not eat it.
Wednesday, it's hot and cold running chills as a big witch brews trouble for America's favorite rabbit in Bugs Bunny's Halloween special.
Me, what's up, witch?
Then Raggedy Ann and Andy get the stuffing scared out of them in The Pumpkin Who Couldn't Smile. 2 Halloween treats starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
From the people who brought you Halloween, more of the night he came home. Halloween 2.
There was nothing within him, neither conscience nor reason, that wasn't even remotely human.
Don't miss the all-new Halloween 2. More of the night he came home. Halloween 2, rated R. The horror continues. Now playing at a theater near you.
Everybody's heading for Woolworth and Woolco to get set for Halloween. There's costumes of TV favorites like Wonder Woman and the Hulk. There's popular characters from Star Wars. And there's superheroes like Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, and many more at bare bones prices. $2.38 to $4.17. And there's Spook Sticks, Face Pops, Hallowitches, wrapped candy of every kind, all at the favorite Halloween haunts. Woolworth and Woolco.
There we go. Those classic Ben Cooper costumes, right? I think we all, at least most of us, probably had at least one of those costumes. And that mask, oh, by the time Halloween night was over, you did never want to wear that thing again. Okay, so let's do some trivia. Go ahead and pull up the trivia slides. And then I am going to click over here and get everything set up. You guys know the rules. You know how to play our trivia with me. We've done this enough times that that you're all seasoned, grizzled experts if you're hanging around with me to play the trivia. So here's the deal. Some of the questions are Halloween based, others are scary movie based. I've got 10 of them. After question 3 and after question 6, I'll ask for how you guys are doing, some scores. And I won't be able to pay much attention to the chat for the next little bit, but when I ask for scores, I'll look and I'll try to put those on the screen as I can. You can put your answers in the chat or just lock them into your noggin, whatever you want to do. And we'll probably go for about 30 seconds with each question. Starting with question number 1. Let me click over here so we can get going. Question number 1. Are pumpkins technically a fruit? What do you folks think? Are pumpkins technically a fruit? Let me get my timer on the screen. Here we go. Give you 30 seconds to answer the question. Are pumpkins technically a fruit or a vegetable? What would it be? This one's one of the, I think, easier questions tonight. So hopefully you get this one right. Take that off the screen. Let's do the answer. Correct answer is pumpkins are technically a fruit. Let's move on to question number 2. What country is believed to be the birthplace of Halloween? Is it Canada, Ireland, Spain, or the United States? What country is believed to be the birthplace of Halloween? All right, just a few more seconds while you think through which country would it be? The birthplace of Halloween. Take the timer off the screen. The correct answer is Ireland. All right, next question. Question 3. According to kids, and remember, this is according to kids, what is the most popular Halloween candy? Is it, we've talked about candy corn tonight. Is it candy corn, M&M's, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, or Snickers? Again, which one is most popular with kids? Candy corn, M&M's, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, or Snickers? All right, and the correct answer is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. All right, before we get to question 4, let me go into the chat and see what kind of scores we got so far. What do you think, folks? How you doing so far? Let me see your scores if you are able to share them. Channel member Mike D is 1 of 3. Channel member David Kerbo, 3 out of 3. Nicely done. Mr. Lead, good to have you here with us. 2 out of 3. Dolph Quick, welcome. 1 out of 3. Indy Spoats. What happened to Indy Spoats? 3 out of 3. There you are. Channel member Sean Innes says you can get cups anytime. Grr, 2 out of 3. Tammy Patton, 3 out of 3. Emily, we haven't had 4 yet. 2 out of 4 for you. 2 out of 4. Sandy W, 3 out of 3. Nicely done. Karen Lester, 3 out of 3. Well done. David C, 2 out of 3. Kenneth Wilkinson, 1 out of 3 so far. Channel member Dominic D, batting the old goose egg so far. Nick Mamonas, 1 out of 3. Todd McCurry, 1 out of 3. Gary Carpenter, 3 out of 3. Rosemary Magrino, 1 out of 3. And Tug, 2 out of 3. Candy Corn hurt him again. Yikes. Music Girl 67, channel member Music Girl 67, 2 out of 3. You should be proud. Sandy W, sorry, 2 out of 3. Melissa Foster, 3 out of 3. Channel member Emily Miller, 1 out of 3. Paul, a.k.a. Commander Kane, says 1 out of 3. Channel member John Collins says 1 out of 3. He says, in the way, Dave, it could be said that I celebrate this particular holiday all of the time because I'm always eating Reese's peanut butter cups, as am I. So, yeah. But I don't get to eat them shaped in the form of a pumpkin. Gary Carpenter, stop it with the talk about throwing away candy corn. Terrell is 3 out of 3. Nicely done. Channel member Tracy Roth Myers, 2 out of 3 so far. And I think that's it for scores. All right, let me take that off the screen. Let's move on to question number 4. What state in the U.S. produces the most pumpkins? Is it California, Illinois, Nebraska, or the great state of Utah? Again, what state produces the most pumpkins? California, Illinois, Nebraska, or Utah? The real question should be, what state produces the most in ounces of Coke Zero? It's probably Atlanta, Georgia, because that's the home of Coke, right? The Coca-Cola bottling company's home offices are in Georgia, I believe, in Atlanta. All right, correct answer is Illinois. That was a tricky one. Question 5. What percentage of Americans, what percentage of Americans, I'm going to start the timer now, pretend that they're not home on Halloween? Who would do this? Do 10%, 21%, 33%, or nearly 50%, 47% of Americans pretend that they are not home on Halloween? People, really? Anyway, put your guess in the chat or lock it in your noggin. Correct answer is 21%. So essentially 1 out of 5 people pretend that they're not home on Halloween. All right. Let's do the first scary movie question, and then I'll get scores again. What is the name of the clown in the movie It? Is it Bozo, Krusty, Pennywise, or Ronald? Again, what is the name of the clown in the movie It? Is it Bozo, Krusty, Pennywise, or Ronald? I feel like this one's a fairly easy one, too. The scary movie ones aren't that hard, I don't think. Maybe 1 or 2 questions. Correct answer is Pennywise. Pennywise the clown. Next question. Oh, wait. Let's go back. Can we go back? I want to get scores real quick. Let's get some scores. Let's see how everybody is doing after 6. And then we'll go all the way to the end after this. Channel member Mike D is 2 out of 6. Channel member David Kerbo, 5 out of 6. Wow, nicely done. Gary Carpenter points out that Tim Curry is in a wheelchair these days, Tim Curry being the first actor to play Pennywise on the screen. And yes, Music Girl 67, Ronald would have been funny. Mr. Led is 4 out of 6. Terrell is 6 out of 6 tonight. Tammy is 5 out of 6. Todd McCreary is 3 out of 6. Indy Spotes is 5 out of 6. Paul, a.k.a. Commander Kane, 2 out of 6. Channel member Sean Innes, 3 out of 6. Says hard times. Tug, channel member The Unapologetic Geeks, is 5 out of 6 tonight. Karen Lester, 5 out of 6. Nick Mamona is 2 out of 6. Ken Wilkinson is 2 out of 6 so far, as is channel member Emily Miller. Channel member Music Girl 67, 4 out of 6. Not bad, though. David C., 4 out of 6. Oh, missed Illinois. That was a tougher question, though. I'll give you that one. Channel member Dominic D, 2 out of 6. Looks like, let's see. We're not to that one yet. Melissa Foster, 4 out of 6. That was a tough round. Gary Carpenter, 5 out of 6. Dolph Quick, 1 out of 6. I'm glad you're still listening and hanging out with us, Tom McCluskey. Always a treat to have you hanging here with us. Even if you're not participating in the chat, or able to play the trivia with us, just knowing you're there means a lot. Channel member Tracy Roth-Myers, 3 out of 6. Nostalgic Podcast, 5 out of 6. Channel member John Collins, 4 out of 6. I'm back from being a zombie. I made a comeback. Well, here you go. You got 4 more movie-related questions. This could be a huge comeback for you, John. We haven't done number 7 yet, Rosemary. We will very, very quickly. Let me go ahead and take that off the screen and keep moving forward. Here we go. What movie villain has a burned face and wears a glove with fingers like knives on it? What movie villain has a burned face and wears a glove with fingers that are like knives on it? Is it the Candyman, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, or Michael Myers? I'm asking. You tell me, which one is it? I think I think most of you will get this one. That Candyman movie, that original Candyman movie scared me quite a bit, I must admit. All right, correct answer is Freddy Krueger. And the first Nightmare on Elm Street scared me quite a bit as well. All the rest of them, Freddy just kind of devolved into a cartoon character. Let's see, moving on. Question 8. What is the name of the motel in Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 psychological horror film Psycho? Was it Bates Motel, Kate's Motel, States Motel, or Yates Motel? Again, what is the name of the motel in Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 psychological horror film Psycho? Bates Motel, Kate's Motel, States Motel, or Yates Motel? One thing's for certain, it's a motel. And the correct answer is Bates Motel. Moving on to question number 9. In what state did the Amityville Horror take place? In what state did the Amityville Horror take place? Was it Maine, New Hampshire, New Jersey, or New York? I'm just going to sit here and just kind of relax with you guys. Just hanging while you guys think the answer. Did you think of the answer? Because time is running out. Correct answer is New York, my friends. One more question. One more question for some of you to get over 500. Maybe be closer to 7 or 8 out of 10. Here we go. What is the name of the town where The Nightmare Before Christmas takes place? Is it Crooksville, Halloween Town, Madtropolis, or Skull City? Again, the town in Nightmare Before Christmas, where all the the main part of the movie takes place. Is it Crooksville, Halloween Town, Madtropolis, or Skull City? And here we go. The correct answer is, of course, Halloween Town. All right. How did you do? If you're watching this live stream on replay, share your results in the comment section. But for the rest of you, Let me know how you did in the chat. I'm eager to see your scores tonight. Oh, yeah. I love that soundtrack, by the way. The Danny Elfman songs are just so good. Channel member Mike D says 6 out of 10. Good comeback. Well done, my friend. Channel member Keith E, 6 out of 10 as well. And look at Kerbo tonight. Just really rocking with 9 out of 10. Kenneth Wilkinson, 5 out of 10. Well done. Rosemary Magrino, 7 out of 10. Mr. Led was 8 out of 10. Channel member Sean Innes, 7 out of 10. Yeah, I'd say that's somewhat of a comeback. David C, 6 out of 10. Karen Lester, that's fantastic. It's more than not bad. It is fantastic. You have good company there with my friend Eric McGill, a.k.a. The Unapologetic Geek, another fantastic channel. If you're not subscribed to, you should be. Todd McCreary, Comeback City, 7 out of 10. Of course, Terrell Eugene Bellinger, often setting the pace, really the mark for people to beat. 10 out of 10 for him tonight. Brenda Krieger, 3 out of 10. Nicely done. Dolph Quick, 4 out of 10. Tammy Patton, 8 out of 10. Melissa Foster, 8 out of 10. Ms. Elizabeth, 8 out of 10. Nick Mamonis, 6 out of 10. Gary Carpenter, 8 out of 10. Channel member Emily Miller. Yeah, the last ones were easier. Those scary movie ones. I just think we all know are scary movies, right? 5 out of 10. Good job. Indy Spoats, 9 out of 10. Channel member Dominic D, 6 out of 10. Paul, a.k.a. Commander Kane, 4 out of 10. Channel member Tracy Roth Myers, a.k.a. Tracy's Fractured History and More. Another new channel. If you're interested in checking it out, you can always, just type in Tracy's Fractured History in the YouTube search bar and you will find it. 6 out of 10. Nicely done, Tracy. Absolutely. It's time for us all to treat ourselves to a little candy. After all, why do we buy the Halloween candy early if not to treat ourselves a little bit beforehand, right? Chance, my friend, a.k.a. the Nostalgic Pod Blast, is 9 out of 10. Missed one all night, but I learned something. Should have known it was Illinois. The Pumpkin King since Halloween with Michael Myers was set in Illinois. There you go. There you go. And channel member John Collins, 7 out of 10, says, I would love a Beetlejuice sequel, not a remake sequel. There's a difference. I do believe it is a sequel and not a remake sequel, John. I'm disappointed to hear if it's a remake. I think it isn't. I think it is actually a sequel, and I think we're getting it. Let's see. Gary Carpenter says, don't eat too much candy. I'm trying to cut down. Oh, I don't eat too much candy. Yeah, we all should be trying to cut down. Emily, you might have been 6 out of 10. You might have been 6 out of 10. I'm going to give it to you. You're a channel member. Going on 18 months, right? 18 months channel member, you get a bonus point. 6 out of 10. We keep this up, you might be 7 out of 10 before we know. Paul, a.k.a. Commander Kane, says Beetlejuice 2 is on the way. I'm very excited for it. I love Michael Keaton as an actor, and it's Tim Burton, Michael Keaton. How can you go wrong? I say that, and then maybe it'll be awful, but I hope not. Channel member Music Girl 67 says the Amityville Horror was the first movie I ever saw in a drive-in. Mine was Cannonball Run. Well, with friends was Cannonball Run. I saw some ones earlier, some Disney movies with my family in a drive-in. Okay. There is a sequel that's on Disney Plus to Hocus Pocus. You can go watch that. And Beetlejuice is on its way. Let's see. Oh, I confused you because Halloween Town for me was in a totally different movie. Don't know about that. Yeah, it is a sequel. I'm pretty certain about that. Terrell says, Dave, just to tell you that I'm now on Spoutable. I don't know what Spoutable is. I'll have to check it out. Halloween Town had Debbie Reynolds in it? It's another movie I've never heard of. Let's see. Yeah, Beetlejuice. Yes. Some great reggae music in there. Melissa says they don't eat sugar anymore. Too high or don't eat candy anymore. It's too high in sugar and carbs. Yes, it is. It's a true fact, and I shouldn't eat very much, but every now and again I have a piece. Channel member Emily Miller says every 12 months we get an extra point in your trivia. Absolutely. You play it when you want to play that extra point. All right. Tug says Star Trek 3 was his first drive-in movie. Risky Business at a drive-in for Dominic D, channel member Dominic D. Channel member David Kerbo says Nightmare Before Christmas is back in movie theaters for the 30th anniversary release. I'll keep my eye out. I'd love to see that one in the theater again. I went and saw it with friends when it first came out, and boy, did they not like that movie. And I just absolutely loved it. All right, I think this is a good stopping spot. A good stopping spot. Let me go ahead and take that off, the trivia off the screen. There we go. And let me just express my appreciation to all of you. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. It's always fun. To those folks that are channel members, specifically super fans and super friends of the channel, so those folks that are contributing, $2 or $3, $2 or $5 a month, I think it is. They get other perks. Trust me, it's not just this, but they'll be joining me on Sunday for an exclusive channel member chat. It'd be great to have all those folks join. If you are interested in joining, well, just click on that little join button below the video screen. And like I said, as long as you're a super fan or a super friend of the channel, we'll see you on Sunday. If not, and if this is the last time I connect with all of you prior to Halloween, I hope that it is a marvelous evening for you, and I hope you make many special memories, whether it be with family or friends. It's a great holiday, right? Halloween is one of those great holidays because it's just all about fun. And whether you choose to eat the candy or not, you have all shared a number of special memories that you have, and I certainly have a ton of special memories as well. So, folks, thanks again for joining me. Fred Rogers, where are you? I need you to help me on the way out of here, my friend. Here we go. This is how I feel about you guys.
You are special.
Indeed you are. Thanks, everyone. Happy Halloween, and we'll talk to you all soon.